And so we're going to talk about something that is very near and dear to me, which is marketing. And I think marketing is one of those words that, let me go. One of those words that is very, very nebulous, and it encompasses so much. And it simultaneously makes people excited, sad, afraid, angry, and all kinds of emotions, because a lot of people have a lot of experience with marketing, some good, some bad. A lot of people have lost a lot of money on marketing. A lot of people have made fortunes off marketing, right? But what I want to do today isn't to go over the little intricacies of like how to do your marketing mix and how to spend on AdWords and all that stuff. We're not going to do that. Instead, what I plan on doing is to try to fundamentally change the way that you think about marketing. I want to change the way you think about it, because it's gotten a bad rep and it's gotten a very specific kind of tunnel vision approach, right? Not taking into consideration the full benefit that it can provide your business. So if you'll indulge me, I'd like to change the way you think about marketing. And hopefully by the end we can agree that it's been changed, and then you can take a sort of a new approach on the whole marketing situation. Before we start though, I want to basically, and I think I'm a little bit off on I think my presentations are on two separate slides there. You wanna correct me there? I'll just keep moving forward. Common marketing misconceptions. I want to dispel some stuff, right? Some stuff that people generally are told through the grapevine and they believe that it's just not true. Okay, the first one is that it's always expensive. This is not true. Marketing is not always expensive. In fact, if you do it right, marketing scales with you no matter how small or how big you are. Okay, second one is that it's hard to track. There would have been a time where marketing was really hard to track in certain regards, like how many eyeballs saw that billboard over there, and let me magically come up with a number of impressions. But that's not the case anymore because of digital marketing, right? Now we can really track it. No ROI. The return on investment is just not there. I'm spending a bunch of money. I'm not getting anything back, so I'm just going to stop it. I've heard that. I heard pros giving me that all the time. Okay? Also not true. It's confusing. This might be a little true, but now we have all these tools available to us to learn how to digitally market. All you got to do is go online and check out what they have to say about how to do your AdWords, how to do your Facebook advertising, etc. Okay? It only helps big businesses. I don't have money for marketing. I'm just a small operation. I don't need marketing, okay? That's also not true. It doesn't just help big business. It can help any size business. It's 100% digital. Also not true. There's offline and there's online. So now that we've dispelled all the misconceptions, let's keep it going. We're going to talk about what your marketing mix is. Now, for mix, I want you to think about it like kind of like a salad with all the different ingredients, okay? You don't just want to do a salad with just lettuce. It's boring. I mean, maybe some people like that, but I personally like my salads all kinds of crazy with a bunch of ingredients in them, right? So also another good analogy is a web. A spider web is effective only when it's got basically a mesh or a network of strands working together to catch the prey. I want you to start thinking about your marketing mix like that. It's no matter how good of one strand is, let's say you're doing Facebook, that's one strand. I don't care how big that strand is, it's just one strand. When the fly comes through, it's going to go right through it because it's not a net, right? It's literally one strand. You got to think of it like that. It is a network, okay? Now, let's go over what the direct marketing mix is, and this is how much of each ingredient you're going to put in, all right? First, we have direct ads with Google search, Bing, Facebook ads, retargeting, and publications. Then we have listing directories, Yelp, Home Advisor, Mantic, Google, Angie's List. Social media, we do Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Google+, LinkedIn. Communications, we have PR, email, direct mail, EDDM, text, and broadcast. We have radio, television, billboards, podcasts, YouTube. Thank you. I'm just joking. No. See, here's what I want to prove, okay? We can go tit for tat on this, and we can talk after this, and I'll tell you what my cool strategy is for AdWords and for Facebook and for all the other things, but that's not what this is about, because remember, I'm trying to fundamentally change the way you think about marketing. Yes, these things are involved in marketing, but this is not the be-all, end-all. This is not where you stop. These are tools for you to get to that next level. I want you to look at these as tools. These aren't marketing in themselves. They're not. Okay, we're going to talk about what is. But before we do that, I want to talk about marketing versus remarketing, because I feel like there's a huge opportunity lost here. I speak to thousands of pros all the time and other businesses. Basically, Marketing and remarketing are technically two separate things. Can someone take a guess as to how much more expensive marketing to acquire a new customer is versus getting repeat business from your existing customers? What's the multiplier? 5, 20, 9, 10, 7. 7 times more expensive to acquire new customers. And the reason why I say this, guys, is because a lot of pros, they get so fixated. They get so fixated on getting new customers. And they just literally just go after them. I got to get new customers. I got to get new customers. And I'm going to spend this much and this much and this much. And I'm going to get new things. And they leave the gold mine that is their existing customers alone. Their existing customers, which is their lifeblood. They leave them alone. But guess what? Remarketing is 2 times better than customer acquisition. Why? Because 1, you already acquired the customer. And 2, because if you turn your customer into a loyal evangelist and a referral machine, that customer will give you a 100x multiplier over anything else. It would be your cheapest marketing channel. And a lot of times, professionals, they just kind of leave their existing pipeline there. They don't foster it. They don't nurture it. Right? They don't enhance it because they're too busy chasing the shiny object, which is a new customer. I'm not saying don't get new customers. I'm saying use the customers you already have better, right? And it doesn't happen. You'd be surprised at how many pros do not do this, okay? I want to go through the ABCs of marketing now, okay? We have ABC, super simple and easy to follow. A, attention grabbing. That's common sense. Of course. Can anyone guess how many advertising impressions we receive as human beings per day? That's right in front. 5,000. We receive 5,000 ad impressions per day. I don't know about you, but that's overwhelming. That is insane. That is like mind-numbing. How could you possibly sift through that noise, right? The way that we sift through that noise is we do things that are attention-grabbing, right? We have to think outside the box. We have to be creative. How many ways can you slice it? How can you infuse creativity with tactical execution to deliver that thing that you want your customer to do? But attention is incredibly important. And you're not only competing against your competitor, you're competing against everything else that's advertising to your customer. Everything else. Think about it. You're going outside, you see the billboard, you got the radio on, you look on your phone, you're literally getting ad after ad after ad, and you're getting bombarded. How can you cut through the noise? I want you to start thinking about that. This is A. B. Branding. Now, we talked about brand a lot today, and I'm very, very, very bullish on this. Brand is more than you think, okay? So let's do a little exercise. How many of you think that logos matter? Raise your hand. Okay. How many of you think that logos don't matter? Okay, I'm curious. All right. So we'll do a little exercise real quick. I want you to look at this logo. You guys know this logo, right? Like, hopefully you know this logo, everyone? Kind of? Who doesn't know this logo? It's all right. Okay. This is a BMW, right? It's a car brand, car make. But what about the logo? Talk to me about the logo. What is it? It's a circle with another circle and some checkered thing, which is inside the circle with blue and white wedges. And then, okay, spinning wheel. The spinning wheel. Did you guys know it was a spinning wheel? I heard it was a propeller, but then that got debunked. Whatever. What do the 3 letters stand for? Bring money in your wallet. I like that. That's good. What does it stand for real, though? Bavarian Motor Works. It's Germans. Bavarian Motor Works. It doesn't sound that sexy when you spell it out, right? BMW short sounds a little bit better. So, Bavarian Motor Works. Okay. So I think we're just asking the wrong questions, right? Because it's not about this logo. It's just a bunch of circles and checkers and white and blue and black with 3 letters. A lot of people don't even know what those 3 letters mean. How many of you guys didn't know that it was Bavarian Motor Works? Because for a while there, I didn't. Okay, does it matter? This could be XYZ and stand for nothing. Does it matter? Does it? No, because we're asking the wrong question. Instead of asking, what does your logo look like? The question is, how does it make you feel? How does this logo make you feel? Expensive. Give me more. Throw me more. Rich. Quality. Successful. Exotic. Sophisticated. Sexy. Attractive. Luxurious. Performance. Right? So, I want you guys to start thinking about your logos, not about how it's designed, but how it makes people feel. Okay? Massively different. It doesn't matter what it is. Matters is how it makes you feel. So this is a pretty good feeling. Now, I want you to tell me how this logo makes you feel. Words. Drag. Headache. Root canal. Did someone see root canal? Root canal. Painful. Excruciating. Dread. Despair. Waste of time. And I'm sorry if anyone here works at DMV or has family that works at DMV. I'm not trying to knock DMV a little bit. But I'm just saying there's very, very, very few people that have had a good experience at the DMV. I mean, am I right? Right? So the feeling that people have when they see this, like I've never seen anyone go online and go, hey guys, I'm going to the DMV. I'm feeling really pumped today. I'm so excited to go to the DMV. Said no one ever, right? Because even if you have an appointment, you know it's going to get totally screwed up. And you know you're going to be waiting in line only to meet with some really rude counter person that's going to totally make you run around in circles and pay money you don't need to pay. So you're like, I'm on a rant. You see how that makes me feel? I'm angry right now just because I'm describing my experience with this logo. Okay? Who here has had a good experience at the DMV? No, put your hands down. No. No. And I don't even want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. All right. So what I'm trying to say is this. It's very easy. Do logos matter? Yes. Do they matter in the way that we think they matter? No. Do they matter in that they are the experience and the emotion that is attached to the logo? So how do you imbue your logo with that good feeling? You have to start thinking about this as an everyday, constant adventure and a constant task. Is everything that you do either adds to your logo and to your brand, or it detracts from it? There is no in between. So every single action that you take, whether it's the flyer you design, whether it's the way you train your technicians, whether it's the way you set up your finances in your company, whatever you do, it's either adding to this experience or it's detracting from this experience. Okay? So that's the brand side. More encompassing. C. Any guesses? So we have A, attention grabbing, B, branding, C. Communication, close. Culture, clarity. All these are all really good. Wow. Call to action. Well, what does that mean? I don't understand. All right, let's talk about this because this is a huge missed opportunity. Call to action is basically, what do you want your customer to do? Okay? And because I do design and I do video and I do all this stuff and I'm always designing stuff for people, whether it's websites, flyers, whatever. And the thing with me is this, like, most of the time, people forget. They come up with some really fancy colors, great pictures, all this really cool stuff that moves and flash and video and animations. But what is it supposed to do? Right? Because they forget the simplest thing, which is you're doing this marketing thing to get something from someone, to get someone to change their mind, to get someone to make a decision. You're doing it for that. Okay? But unfortunately, people forget because they get lost in the design and the thing and the font and which color and the thing. What am I doing, right? So what I do is I like to run the 3-second blink test. And this is something you should definitely take with you because it's really effective. What the 3-second blink test is whatever you design, let's say it's a flyer, it's your business card, your website, anything that has any design element, your truck wrap, whatever. You go up to someone you don't know and you show it to them for 3 seconds. 3 seconds. So you go 1, 2, 3. You take it away. And then you ask them the question, what were you supposed to do? What were you supposed to do? Not what font was that, not what color palette, like none of that. not did you like the picture. What were you supposed to do? And if they can't answer that, then you did not design it well. Period. So 2 mistakes that happen. 1, people put way too much stuff on things. Like words. It's like you're looking at this thing and you're like, you don't even know where to look. You're like, oh, am I supposed to do this? Am I supposed to read that? Where's my eye supposed to go? I don't know. And then people just give up. Remember when I said 5,000 ad impressions a day? That's mind-numbing. The last thing you want to do with what you design is to have 5,000 things that they have to look at when they're looking at it, okay? 1 call to action. Always 1. Just 1. You decide what it is, right? If you want your little door hanger to have 1 call to action, do 1. Your little windshield insert that you put on people's cars, 1. Your business card, 1. Your website, 1. What do you want them to do? Okay? Do that 3-second blink test and you'll be surprised. In fact, it's funny because every time we do this, at the end, people come up to me, and you could do this to me today as well. They come up to me with their business card for sure. Like, I've had this happen like 300 times. And they're like, they just come up to me and they go like, put it in my face, and then they take it away. And I'll be honest with you. I'll tell you the feedback. If I don't know what I'm supposed to do when looking at your business card because your phone number is microscopic or your website is microscopic or whatever it is, you put maybe 10,000 things on it, I'll tell you. Okay? 3-second blink test. Change your life. Okay? For everything, including websites. And it doesn't matter how big or small the thing that you're designing is. You should still be able to read it. Because guess what? Your customers are only going to give you like 3 seconds, really, max, of time. They're going to look at your thing. Should I care? No. So you have to make sure you convey the right message with 1 call to action. Make sense? Okay, so now I see everyone starting to thinking about like, ooh, like you're thinking about your designs now. Like, oh my God, my website has like 1,000 things, and my business card has 1,000 things, and a flyer I just made. Oof. So go back and run this test. Really honest. It'll let you know. Did you do it or did you not? Is that something that you think would be useful for you guys? Yeah? Okay. Cool. So what I said earlier was I'm trying to get you guys to change the way you think about marketing. And the way that I want you to change the way you think about it is, instead of looking at all the different channels, is marketing is really boiled down to 2 things. Storytelling, experience. Storytelling. You are telling a story. You are telling a story to your customer through your experience. That story is your brand and it's your service. If you do not have a differentiating quality, and Mel talked about this a little earlier, the why. Why are you doing this? If the why isn't encapsulated in everything that you do and in all your literature and all your design elements, then you're not doing a good job at representing your true self to your customer, which means they're not going to buy it. You have to buy it yourself. And if you don't know what it is, look inside, take personal inventory, and develop what your qualities are. What separates you from everybody else? What is your story? And how do you tell that story with your customers? Because it's not about how many jobs you get. It's about how good of an experience you deliver. That feeling that we were talking about earlier that's attached to the logo and to the brand, that is what you need to focus on. Okay? Because I guarantee you, if you focus on that, everything else will come. Everything else will come like dominoes, right? Unfortunately, people get stuck in this survival mode where it's like, I got to make this much, I got to do this job, and they don't zoom out, they don't get the bird's eye to see the fact that it's all about the storytelling experience. And I have a quote that I like to reference all the time. Get closer than ever to your customers. So close, in fact, that you tell them what they need well before they realize it themselves. Steve Jobs did this for sure. Before the iPod came out, do you think people knew that they wanted an iPod? Do you think that? No, they didn't, right? Same thing with Ford, right? When Ford cars came out, it wasn't like build a faster horse. It was like, no. Don't use horses. Use a car. Like this thing, right? People didn't know they wanted it. People didn't know they want half of the stuff that we have now, but guess what? Everyone has it now, right? Redefining the bounds. You are the crafts people of your industry. You know better in your industry than anybody else, and it is your responsibility to push that out to everyone and let them see the value before they even know that they need it. And you know what they need, right? Right? Okay, good. So where does the experience start? Most people just do this. The experience starts when the job starts. Job starts, I'm in the house, I'm doing the thing. fixing the thing, cleaning the thing, whatever, repairing, installing, and I leave. Experience over. That's not where it starts. Before the job starts, it's a whole nother movement. And this is what I'm talking about storytelling. Because when you read a story, it's not just like, and the fight happened like in the middle of it, right? You want to set it up, right? You want to get the character development. You want to get all the rising action. I mean, what kind of, the best stories that we like, in fact, the reason why we love movies so much and why we love stories and books and all these narratives is because it guides you through an adventure. You got to start thinking about your stuff like an adventure. What is an adventure? Where does it start? It better not start when the job starts. It's got to start way before the job starts. You find this customer, you provide this amazing pre-job experience that just makes them feel like, wow, this never happened before. I can't believe this. Like, this is the best experience I've ever had with like a plumber. Like, wow. And it's mind-bending, but you wouldn't imagine it because in history, they've never had this kind of experience. It happens before, during the job, and then after the job. And guess what? It's a circle. It keeps going. Because each time you do a job, you start the story over again, and you keep building on the story, and then those people start referring jobs to you, and you start doing more and more story, okay? So you got to stop thinking about your customer experience and your brand and your marketing for just the job. It's got to go beyond that, and it's got to loop around. Does that sound fair? Good. So here's your experience mediums. What can you use tool-wise to get that experience? One, you're live. Like, what are you, like, how is it like when you're live? You'd be surprised at how few pros actually train technicians on proper demeanor, attitude, and care for detail when relating to the customer, right? Not only in like vocal tone, but also just in general live presence. What are they wearing? What's their posture? What is like all of these things? Important, super important, okay? Phone. For me, a lot of people think that I'm a total jerk, which they'd be right, but no, they're not. I'm not a jerk at all, actually. But on the phone, apparently, I sound like a jerk. People tell me I sound like a jerk all the time. I'm like, but I don't sound, but I'm not. And then they're like, no, but you are on the phone. And I'm like, oh, so I had to start working on my phone game because it sucked, apparently, right? Sometimes you never know that, but like this is super important. Something super important to consider because sometimes between live and phone, things get lost, like or changed. Email, same, right? What's your tone when you write an email to your customers, right? Print, text, and social. So these are the tools in your arsenal that you have to communicate with your customer to develop the experience, okay? And I want you to use all of them. Not just one, not just two, all of them. Because you need that to come up with a well-rounded story. So let's go over an example, guys. And this is just one example. Not all of it, but it's one example. Okay. Job schedule text message. How many of you guys are using the job schedule text message? How many of you are not? Okay. Personally, I absolutely hate when I schedule something and I don't know if they got it, if they didn't, and I feel like it's like stuck in the ether somewhere and I don't know if it's going to happen. So as a customer, I would love to get a message that says, oh, okay, confirmed, right? You're not going to just be like waiting. It's confirmed. Great. Prep email. Oh my gosh, I got an email saying, hey, I got to do this thing. I got to lift up the skirts on the bed and I got to move this thing around. I got to like change this configuration in order to make this a better experience. I mean, I don't know anyone else has gotten an email about like getting ready before Service Pro comes. This is mind-blowing. Like it's definitely a game changer. On my way text message. Amazing. Guys, we have the data at Housecall Pro. We run millions of jobs across hundreds of verticals. And what we found is that people that use this are infinitely more likely to be more successful than people that don't. And the reason is because it's delivering that experience. I had the absolute worst service experience one time where the arrival window was between 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. for a company that shall not be mentioned because I'm not here to smear anyone. But like giving me a 12-hour arrival window, and they didn't even show up. And I literally stayed home all day. 12 hours. I was mad. That was a negative review, Chad. That was a negative review. And I specifically said, oh, no response would have changed that. I was like, no, you made me wait for 12 hours, and you didn't even show up. No. On my way text, amazing feature. Customers love it. I love it. It demystifies the experience. It makes it so they have an expectation of something that's going to happen, right? It bridges that trust gap that we were talking about, that Janelle spoke of earlier. Map tracking, seeing people on the way to your house. How many touches is this? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. Before the job. During the job. Trust, the most important thing to bridge. The thing that's stopping someone from booking you is a lack of trust. They don't know you. You could be a serial killer. You could be an axe murderer. Like, especially in the days of Craigslist, right? Where it's like, am I hiring a plumber? Or, like, I don't know who this person is. I have no idea, right? Like, they don't know, especially if you're taking into consideration, like, imagine it's like a housewife that has 3 kids in the house, and, like, they don't know who's coming. It could be some psycho. Like, I don't know. Like, you know? So how do you bridge that gap? How do you make this so that you build that trust, okay? It's the most important thing. Reliability, expertise. Obviously, you're the masters of your craft. Expertise is important. Transparency. You're not there to swindle people. This is during the job. Attention to detail, incredibly important, okay? Attitude, paramount. And a lot of times, again, we skip this. We don't train our technicians how to do that, how to be like warm, and how to open the relationship, and how to like really nurture it, right? This is a whole skill set that you need to train. Like, not only them, but you. Like, everyone needs to train in this. It's super important. A lot of people just forget about it. So these are really important pillars that we need to address when we're doing the actual job itself. So right now we talked about pre-job, 4 steps, during the job, this, and now after the job, which we have job finish text message, really helpful for when for your customers not in the house. Electronic invoicing, post email, like after the job, it could be a thank you email, or it could be any other type of email that says, like follow up procedure, blah blah blah, to make sure that that the care that we provided extends, and that you keep taking care of your appliance or whatever it is that's happening. Thank you postcard. Pretty awesome nowadays, because who sends postcards anymore? Like, nobody. So like when people get this, it's like a treat. Like, it's a treat. It's like, oh, I got a postcard. Like, when's the last time you got a postcard? Think about it. When's the last time you got a postcard? So if you send it to a family, for instance, and it's a cute postcard with like a puppy, those do really well, by the way, or something like that, like, it's great. They're gonna put it on their fridge. It's gonna have your brand on it, right? You're putting more touches, and it's expanding the experience. You go referral email. Referrals, what we talked about, right? And then reminder. Oh, it's time to get that thing tuned up. It's time to get your carpets cleaned again. It's time to get the windows washed. It's time to do the thing. Because guess what? Once again, 5,000 impressions of ads per day. You think that they're going to remember 3 months down the line that they need to get their carpets cleaned? No, they're not. Because they have all the stuff on their minds. Okay? So how many touches is this? 6. 6. You didn't count the first triangle? How many touches total between all of it? Can we go back? 10. Guess what? I'm not making this up. We run, like I said, like millions of jobs through our platform, and I can guarantee you for a fact, the people that apply 10 touches to the job or to the customer, almost guaranteed repeat revenue and almost guaranteed 10x to 50x referral source. This means the customers will give you more business. The customers will talk to everyone about it. Because at the end of the day, why is this important? Why are we even listening to me right now? Because there's 3 types of customers. There's your average customer that might use you again, might not. There's the loyal customer that'll use you, but yeah, good. And then there's the evangelist. What this means, and you guys are laughing, but it's true. The evangelist will be your best marketing resource ever. The evangelist will continue to keep giving. You don't understand, like, delivering an experience like that's this awesome for a service professional is really unheard of across the board, industry-wide. So if you deliver that, you will be the topic of conversation at the dinner table. You will be the topic of conversation at the kids' soccer game. They'll be like, oh, I just had the most awesome experience with this plumber or this HVAC. It was just ridiculous. You'd be like, what? I didn't even think that was possible. Yeah, let me tell you about what happened. I got this text message and then this thing, and I got this email, and I got this postcard. It's like the coolest experience I've ever had. You tell the story. You tell the story, all right? And you become that topic of conversation at the dinner table. And that's going to give you an everlasting supply of jobs because that person will consistently go to bat for you and refer you over and over and over. And that is free marketing, which is the best channel you can possibly use. And this is your existing customer, mind you. You didn't pay any additional money for this. You just delivered an amazing experience, and now they're giving back tenfold. Okay? And I've seen this. This is not made up. Like, we see the data come through our system. We know it works. It's just very few people do it. Very, very, very few people do it. So again, I'm not saying don't do advertising on Facebook or AdWords. I'm saying cast your web, use all the channels, don't spend too much money on it. Focus more on delivering the experience with your existing customer base. You will not regret it. I've seen wild success from people that do this. Wild success. And I've seen potential failure from people that don't because they're literally leaving their customers. That's basically their gold mine right there. Okay? So I want you to take, if you take one thing from this, take this. 10 touches. 10 touches. Doesn't have to be the ones I put up. You can come up with your own 10 touches, but 10 touches. Some before the job, some after the job. Okay? Make sense? All right. God bless. Thank you.